To share his life story publicly came in 2012 when he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I said, "You ready for this?" He said, "Well, I don't have any notes." And I said, "Well, that's interesting."
He said, "Mom, I'm just going to get up there and speak from my heart," and that's just what he done.
Listen, I don't necessarily have notes, so I'm going to kind of bare my soul and just bear with me. But
I mean, if you want to listen to something that will truly inform yourself about Curtis Martin, and also maybe change your own life in a way, listen to his Hall of Fame speech.
I grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood, but the household that I lived in was even worse.
It felt so raw and painful to listen to sometimes.
I watched my mother get punched in the face, have a black eye, and then go to work with makeup on just to support our family. I remember watching him torture you, Mom. He'd go in there with a cigarette and put cigarette burns all over her legs, what she still bears to this day. And Mom, I thank you so much for the sacrifices that you've made for me. I tell you, my greatest achievement in my life was helping my mother and nurturing my mother from the bitter, angry person that she was, nurturing her to forgive my father for everything that he did to her. My mother and I were riding through this part of town where I grew up, and we saw my father at a bus stop.
He says, "Mom, there's my dad. Pick my dad up." You must be crazy.
I said, "All right, well, Mom, think about this. This man has ruined your life for all of my life. And it's still happening, and he's been gone for over 20 years. Can you honestly say that if my father was there, that I would have turned out the way I did, that we would experience what we experience now?" And I think the truth of it was so there that she couldn't deny it.
And we rode his dad home. When he got out of my car, something just like touched me in my heart.
She looked at me with tears in her eyes, and she said, "I feel like I just dropped off a whole big bag of bricks."
But if Rochella Martin was going to take the next step in forgiving her ex-husband, she had little time left.
He says, "Mom, my dad is sick." He said he has cancer.
And from that moment on, they began to develop at least a conversation.
So I called him up and I says that from now on, when you have to go to chemo, I'll take you. I start cooking for him.
She said that literally changed her life.
If my son would not have went on that journey with me with his dad, today I do not know how I would be in mind of not just open up and let that go.
Curtis Martin has a deep appreciation for the possibilities of a blank canvas. He's filled the frame of his own life with an extraordinary work.
Oh my goodness. Look.
Remember this right here is, I used to have to wear the key around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
that was just like my dad too.
It sure does. What a great job you did.
Thank you. Remember all these?
Oh, do I remember? Yes. To see that picture and journey that we was on. Sometimes, I guess, a hard journey comes out the best.
There's this piece when you first come in my door. It is one of the most beautiful settings. I mean, it almost looks like heaven on earth. But it's surrounded by this huge concrete frame. And for me, it's symbolic to my life. There is a very warm, spiritual, giving part of me. And I believe that's my inside but it was framed by the concrete circumstances that I grew up in and gave shape to that warm inside that is now me.